Hey, hey!
What's the good news?
We're here. We're live. We're Brandon and I. Mike is on
Yeah.
assignment, which is a rare case.
It's like the kids are running class
I
today.
know. Trouble can we get into? In fact, he should be sleeping right now. What time is it in
It
India?
is 12 and a half hours, so it's about 2:30.
2:30 in the morning. Um, okay.
Spent a lot of time in India, so I know the time pretty well.
That's true. That's true. I guess his first hotel was like really crap that he was in. It was like there was like mold and like it was
Uh,
just like disgusting. But now he's at a Fairfield and he's in a
oh,
more
okay, nice.
yeah. Now he's in like an Americanized thing and anything. Hey, Katie, my podcast mom is driving back from an adventure. My parents are getting a fancy ass Corvette.
It happened.
It
It
happened.
happened.
It
Okay.
happened. So I was like, all right, you guys aren't going to drive it like fast, but cool. They just get to look cool driving around town, I guess.
That's the whole point.
Oh, Jack's here just as he gets the
Hey.
strawberry hazelnut mousse in the fridge.
Ooh, that just sounds
God, Jack
delightful.
just slays me with all his deliciousness. That, in fact, I have to think about this week because, oh my gosh, Thanksgiving is next week. So I have to
Yeah.
think about, I have to get all the meal stuff planned and think about what
hmm
I'm gonna like.
The
I know
holiday
I want to.
cocktails involved.
Yes, Mike's supposed to be working on that while he's on
Okay.
assignment.
Okay.
It's part of his assignment. I want to bake something. Adam better bake something. Lavender scones.
Ooh,
God,
boy.
they're so freaking good.
I got the of course deviled eggs and mashed potatoes I'll be making for sure.
Are you going to Phoenix?
No, I'll be up here
You're gonna be up here.
because I got a
Right,
raccoon to
right.
deal
That's
with.
right. That's right. That's right. Um, okay. Deviled egg. God, deviled egg sounds really good. I haven't had deviled eggs in
Yeah.
forever.
And I make real good mashed potatoes, so I'm excited about that.
Oh God, I love mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes. My mom hates mashed potatoes. I love mashed. Me and my dad are
Oh,
mashed potato freaks.
there was if you watch Chef Reactions just the other day, he was reacting to chefs who made like this mac and cheese crisp, but then they had the really good uh, mashed potatoes on top of it, and it was amazing.
Of mac and cheese?
Yes.
Oh my
I'll see if I can
God.
find it and
Oh,
insta it.
Jack's Moose is for tomorrow's Gays Giving. That's
Excellent.
great. That's great. I love that. That's fun. Oh gosh. I'm now I'm hungry because I only ate cereal this morning. So let's see how this big ass cup of alcohol tea I made
Dude,
goes down.
alcohol tea. That
Yeah,
sounds
well, it's a
delightful.
hot toddy. It's a hot toddy, and I didn't actually put any
Oh,
tea in it,
okay.
but
Oh, so it's just kind of like warm
it's
whiskey.
just warm. It's just warm bourbon. Basically, is what it. Although I did make a hot toddy the other night with some like calming tea in it.
Oh,
That was
okay.
really nice, and I was like, but it's nice and cold and rainy right now, so I
Yeah, we
felt
got
like
some
that would be
snow
good.
yesterday. It was
Oh,
very
that's
nice.
exciting. There's snow on
Yeah.
the mountains in the distance, so
Yeah.
I'm like, it's happening. All right, give me a countdown. Let's go. Let's
All
get
right.
this party started.
I don't have a clapper, but I almost have one, so
I have.
I'm gonna
That's
do
my
it this
heavy.
way because this is nerdy as shit. Yep. And in five, four, three, two, one.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Cosmos with Cosmos. I'm Liz,
I'm exhausted. I'm Brandon.
and Mike is on assignment, so
Ooh,
you just get us two today for High in the Sky.
the scallywags are taking over this episode.
Oh yeah, gonna get into trouble. And we're talking about December's High in the Sky because
Oh,
it's November
it
and
is.
December's coming up and the year's almost over and
But
I don't
but
know what's happened.
but how do we know what's in the sky in the future? How is that possible?
Oh my gosh, math and physics and predictions. That's what it is. It's science, folks. That's how we know about it. There ain't no fortune telling here. Astrology, get out of here.
Yeah, your astrology. We don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can come out and listen, and learn some things.
Yeah, but otherwise,
But yeah, yeah.
get the fuck out. Anyway. All right, speaking of, high in the sky, what are you drinking?
Well, that's a very good question. So I am drinking the and
I like
acknowledgement
that.
of the newest member of the podcast over there
There's
sleeping
a,
on the couch.
there's a lot of uh-uhs that are going to be happening.
A lot of those. It is vodka, vermouth, and some orange juice.
Oh, okay. I gotta be real picky about drinks that vermouth is in. I'm not a big vermouth
And you weren't a big gin person either, and so like slid it slowly into your
That's
drinks. And that's what this
true.
is. This is the hint of vermouth. It's not
Okay.
overpowering.
All
Otherwise, yeah,
right.
too much vermouth is
Yeah.
icky.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you got?
Oh, I'm drinking what I'm calling the Nanerjuk,
Ooh,
which will be brought up at some point in the show, and it's basically I don't do this way because
spoilers.
it's my fun Alaska mug.
Hey!
Yeah, this is like the best tea mug because
I
it's like
have
ceramic
the
pottery.
exact same tea mug, but it's from Montana. Like
Oh,
I kid you not, it's right there.
I mean, we got it at like a souvenir
Yeah.
store,
I kind of
so
want to show it to you later.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Cool. But it's just a hot toddy. It's basically just the last of the burbs, water, brown sugar, lemon
Oh,
juice, and
nice.
there is a cinnamon stick that was pre-burnt a little bit
Oh, I
in
love the
there.
pre-birds and the
Yeah.
six in there. You
Yeah.
know, I feel about
I was
those.
like smelling it. I was like, okay, yes. So
And Jack, of course, is getting some strawberry hazelnut mousse, and I'm not sure what the
he's not
plan will
drinking
be.
that. It's in the fridge.
No,
It's a
he's just getting
dessert
that.
for the gays given.
It's great.
Oh god,
It's
it sounds so
fabulous.
good. But anyway, okay, all right. Speaking of nothing, because this is a
Hey,
bad transition. But follow us on all the things at Drinking Cosmos on the Twits, Cosmos with Cosmos everywhere else like Instagram, and now on Blue
blue
Sky because
sky.
apparently that's what all the people are doing. So we're hopping on
And,
that
and
bandwagon.
and guess who will be more active on the social media platform than previous platforms?
And how many times has someone said that?
I've made a post already.
Did you? Okay.
I did.
I gotta look at it. I'm so bad at checking social media. Like I'm bad at social media, but I at least do it for the pod for the most part. I think. Anyway, Katie is going to be
Ooh.
having a peach sparkling water soon. It's been I used to be big when I was younger in the Calistoga craze.
I used to be big when I was younger. Okay.
Yeah, Calistoga. What? No, the Calistoga sparkling waters. Like, was that a thing
Oh.
in your area where you were growing up?
No,
Oh.
sparkling water is sewage water to me. It tastes like terribleness.
Yeah, I'm not a big. I'm
Yeah.
not a big.
It's like that scene in Ted Lasso when he drinks the tea and spits it out. That's me
Uh-huh.
when I have this
Sparkling
sparkling water.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could not. I could leave it. Anyway.
Okay.
Of course, on our social medias, like us, rate us, share us, do all the things that you do if you like this stuff that content creators
Or
make on the
yeah.
internet. I don't know what we're doing. We're adults that don't know how to use technology anymore. We're getting up there. We're old now. We're old people talking to the youth. But
My back
we're
hurts.
fire.
We lit. Gucci. That's still a thing? Gucci?
No, I think you're about 10 years too late for
Yeah, it's like
for
6 or 7. Oh.
and then of course check out some of our friends of the pod.
We have
Katie's
friends.
art, Wildixia, Wildixia on Etsy. She's got some cool shit. Mr. Ron Proctor, MrProctorShow.com. You can find him on the socials as well. He does some really cool stuff. And our buddy Jack in Council Bluffs, Iowa, with the Rolling Bluffs Planetarium. If you're in that neck of the woods where they have a lot of corn, do they have a lot of corn there, Jack? Check him out and his planetarium. And of course, visit your local planetarium wherever you live and support them and their non-profitedness. I'm so excited.
What we
I
got?
wish I was in Arizona now because the Lowell Observatory up in Flagstaff is opening this huge new discovery center with like just all these exhibits and like kind of a planetarium. It's like a planetarium, but like it's not like a full dome
Is
or
it like the
something.
outdoor
It's like
planetarium thing they were talking
no,
about?
it's like I don't know, but I don't know. It looks amazing. So
I will have to look that up.
yeah, check it out if you're in Flagstaff because it's amazing. Plus, you can see where Pluto was discovered.
Pluto.
Pluto. And of course, we have some shot-sized episodes for you called The Shot. You can check those out every other Wednesday.
Which, when you said, "Hi, welcome to Cosmos Cosmos," I was totally expecting you to say "the shot."
The
after
Shot.
that, but it didn't come.
This is a normal episode. This is a long episode, not a short
Oh,
episode. But we just
okay.
had a shot come out on the Isinga Planetarium. So you can check that out now. And the next one will be out in a couple weeks. So if you like a bit more short form content, then the shots are for you. But if you're watching this show, we do have some rules. If you hear any dogs barking, which Jack, because Mike's on assignment, Jack has been a little extra barky at any noise he sees. So, he might actually start barking today.
And I have a meth raccoon,
Yeah,
so
so
anything goes.
yeah, but his background, Brandon's background noise canceling is really good. So I don't know, maybe I need to turn on my settings, really go what my settings are. But anyway, if we make any Star Wars references or Lord of the Rings references, because we're nerds, also take a drink to that.
Okay.
But meanwhile,
Sure.
are you ready to get high in the sky?
I am always ready to get high in the sky.
Hell yeah! Then let's go to the December night sky.
Logo music. Woo.
Hey, that's all that is.
Look at that. Look at that
That's
segue.
what that is. I like
Look at us
that.
doing things.
Now, of course, we like to highlight a constellation, and I feel like we might have highlighted this constellation before, but I was too lazy to go back through.
We have.
I was too lazy to go back through and check. So, Taurus the Bull is the constellation highlight. I mean, it's a really good, like, wintertime constellation. It's bright. It's easy to spot. We've focused...
The great tuning fork in the sky.
Yeah, we've focused on some, like, kind of minor ones, or ones that are, like, are kind of dim. They're not really, like, obvious in the sky, and Taurus is a very obvious one. So, we like Taurus. It's large and bright. It's right next to Orion. If you can find Orion, which... pretty damn easy to find Orion. Taurus is basically to like the right, the east, no, the west of Orion. The west of Orion.
Because the puppies are on the left.
Yes. Okay. That's why I'm like trying to like picture it in my head. And you'll look for you'll see this V shape of stars that really stands out. And that is the face of the bull. And then a little bit to the west of that is like a little mini tiny itty bitty looking dipper.
Itty bitty dipper.
Itty bitty dipper, and that is the Pleiades, and we'll talk about that in a second.
It's funny, we call it an itty bitty dipper, but it's like light years and light years across.
I know. And it's not itty bitty at all, but from our perspective here on Earth, it is. And I can say, I think I can speak for all of us, Brandon, all of us, when I can say we love the Pleiades, and it's one of our favorite night sky objects.
It is very good to us. Yes,
it is. So, we'll talk about it in a second. But first,
the
main star of Taurus the Bull, Aldebaran. Arabic name, which you can check out our episode on how the universe gets its names for shit out now on the things that you listen to things on or watch the things on. This is the Eye of the Bull. It's a bright orange giant star. So it's headed off of the main sequence of events for stellar lives. And it's one of the 15 brightest stars in the sky. So very obvious, very noticeable. And it is only 65 light years from Earth.
Not like 65,000, but 65?
No, 65.
That's like right next door.
I know.
Was that close?
Yeah, it's relatively close. So, it's bright and close. And we love it. Aldebaran, the Eye of the Bull.
So, from certain perspectives in the galaxy, if they were looking back and we were lined up with Aldebaran there, we would be part of their constellation. Because it's only 65 light years, so we'd still be in a constellation.
We're in Taurus.
Oh, that's a good hangover. Is what constellations is our sun part of, and what are they called?
Oh shit,
that's cool.
You know what?
What's that?
That would actually be really fun as like a planetarium.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great
thing to make for the dome. Okay. Note that.
Yeah.
Note that before we forget.
Okay.
Note that. Note that for
chat. Note that.
Chat. Note it. Okay, now to the Pleiades. All right, the Pleiades. We've talked about the Pleiades ad nauseum on the show, but we love it. It may sound familiar if you hear the word Subaru, because that is the Japanese name for Pleiades and is the logo on the Subaru cars. If Mike was here, he would tell the story about my first visit to the planetarium and everything, but you can find that elsewhere.
Subaru?
Yeah. My ex-husband did, and he was one of the few that actually responded yes to that question. Although now we live in states where everybody drives a goddamn Subaru. They're everywhere. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. Jack's always here for us. I love it. Okay, so the Pleiades, what is it? Okay, when we look up in the nighttime sky, we see like this little mini itty bitty dipper shape, right? And if you have good eyesight, I mean, typically you see about 7 of the stars that are in the Pleiades with really good eyesight. You can do a little test on a clear night and go outside and try to count them and see, how many you can count. But there are thousands of stars there, it's actually an open star cluster. So thousands of stars form together out of the same cloud of gas and dust and are slowly like drifting away from each other. And we just see like the 7 brightest of them out of this cluster.
It's like stars after high school, just slowly drifting away from each other until they lose contact.
Blowfish, I love you. Anyway, Blowfish is not watching this, but anyway, I love Blowfish. Anyway, it's a good friend of mine from high school. That is very true. It's very, you think you'll be like lifelong friends, and it's like, but although I do have some of those friends where it's like, if then we do like talk to each other again, it's like that, you know, I love you, I miss you. But I'm just really bad. I'm really bad at keeping in touch.
Let's hope that none of these stars get back in touch with each other.
No, that would be,
because that'd be scary.
That would be
it'd be cool as shit.
Physics would have broken, or something fucked up would have happened if these stars start coming back together. Oh, no. Right? Because they're drifting apart, so you gotta have a force that brings them back together. So let's have them keep going away. In fact, this star cluster is about 440 light years away from Earth. So
also not too far away.
Not too far. A good distance, but not too far. But it's not the only star cluster in Taurus the Bull. Remember the V, the face of Taurus the Bull? Do. That is actually also a star cluster called the Hyades.
Hyades.
I don't know if I'm saying that. I don't know how you pronounce anything in space, but this is how I say it, and I'm going to stick with it.
Typically in space, you can't pronounce anything. In space, no one can hear you enunciate.
Drink to that. I appreciate that so much. The Hyades. Now, okay, Aldebaran looks like it's a part of the Hyades, but it is not. It is much closer to us than the Hyades star cluster. The Hyades is 100 stars, so not as big of an open star cluster as the Pleiades, and it's only 153 light years away. So closer to the Pleiades, but Aldebaran, again, not part of the Hyades. It's closer. It just looks like it's part of the Hyades. And it's actually named after a group of a group of Greek nymphs. It's like a tongue twister. The daughters of Atlas and Athena, who are associated with rain. And so Hyades means rainers, and it indicated when that there would be rainy weather beginning when it rose with the sun.
Cool.
So, and of course, as we've talked about, the night sky for ancient cultures has been used to, tell time and keep track of seasons and all that good staying alive in the ancient world kind of stuff before modern clocks and whatnot. By the way, I would like to thank Brandon for a book recommendation he gave me. The book is called CwC.
You reading it?
Oh, I'm done with it. I finished it.
Oh my God.
I love it. I loved it so much. It was phenomenal. So good. So it's like a take on, it's basically like the Odyssey, which has Odysseus. He meets the witch Circe in the Odyssey, but this book is like from her perspective and kind of her background and her experience.
Life.
Yeah, her
going
life.
From the halls of the gods to the island to Odysseus, and afterwards, it's phenomenal.
Fantastic. It's fantastic. I've started looking at books that are like similar to Circe and whatever that I can read, because
Cosmos with Cosmos stamp of approval.
Yes,
Circe by Madeline Miller.
God, anything Greek mythology I love. So it was so good. So thank you for that, Brayden, on that book recommendation. And I'm not a big reader, so I guess that's saying something. Anyway, all right.
You
so
could be. More books to you. Okay.
Okay. So some other stuff that's in Taurus the Bull, or in that direction of space, I should say, because obviously nothing is located within the bull because it's all spread out through the universe, but there's a couple nebulae. One of those is the Crystal Ball Nebula, NGC 1514. Here's what it looks like. It looks like a blue puff ball. I don't know.
It's like a mana ball in a game you had to go touch and get mana back.
It does. Actually, it kind of looks like the spell ball that I have in Dragon Age that I'm playing, the new Dragon Age. So it kind of looks like that a little bit. And this is a planetary nebula. So this is a sun-like star that exhausted its fuel, expanded its outer layers, and the cores collapsed down into a white dwarf. So this is the future of our sun, basically. But there is a much more famous nebula located
Oh.
in the Taurus the Bull constellation, and that is the Crab Nebula. This is a supernova remnant, also known as M1 or Messier 1. It's the first of Messier's catalog. And it's a type 2 supernova remnant, so it's a big bada boomer.
Ooh.
Big explosion happened here,
Uh,
and it was actually seen from Earth July 4th, 1054. It was
by Chinese astronomers and others around the
Chinese,
world too.
yes, in like South America, there's cave drawings
I
that
think the
represent
Anasazi as
it.
well saw
Yes,
that.
the Anasazi, and what's great is they were able to compare. Oh, am I spilling? Did I just spill all
You just pull a
over? I
Davison?
just totally pulled a Davison. Luckily, nobody saw it. They just hear me talk about it because I'm still in the Crab Nebula image. But I totally just spilled my tea because I'm animatedly talking about the Crab Nebula because I'm so excited and I love it so much.
So you're spilling this tea, the tea about the more famous constellation.
Spilling the tea.
So you're like a paparazzi.
I am.
You're like, oh, what is that website called? You're like TMZ for space.
TMZ
Spilling
for
the
space.
tea
Spill
on
the
the
tea.
famous nebula.
On this famous nebula. Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay, so supernova remnant, big bada boom, people around the world side. It's awesome. And that image was from the James Webb Space Telescope. So the Hubble image of it is gorgeous. I mean, all the images of it are gorgeous. So, and of course, you need like.
I love them all
telescopes.
equally.
I love them all. I know. I didn't write down the distance for
It's
either of these nebulae.
1,004. It's 1,044 light years away. I guarantee it. I need to look this up.
I don't. It's not. It's not the date it was discovered. Light years away. Oh, okay. Brandon's gonna look it up.
I'm looking it up.
Look it up. He's gonna look it up. Okay, we'll
I
give
feel
him.
pretty. Oh fuck! I was way off.
What? How far away is
I was off. Just don't worry about it. Don't look it
well,
up.
no, but people want to know.
Oh, sorry. So the Orion Nebula is 1,344 light years away. The Crab Nebula is over 6,000 light years away.
Over 6,000. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's much.
I got excited and my memory failed me.
It's fine. You know what? Distances and like
It's all
know.
relative.
It's like with the planets. It's like I don't remember the rotation rates of all of them. I mean, these are easily Googleable facts that I don't have room in my brain anymore for all these minor facts. Big concepts I gotta keep. I'm getting older. I can't remember all the things. Okay. Mythology, right? We got the space and the science stuff in Taurus. Of course, the constellations come with a mythological background to them, which is always fun to go through. And this is Taurus. I didn't know this. Maybe I missed this last time we looked this up, but it's actually a very old constellation, possibly observations of it. I mean, obviously people throughout all of human history and our
Right.
evolution of our eyesight and shit, they've seen the constellations, whatever, but like recognition of Taurus goes back possibly to the Stone Ages, like very old Stone Ages, either the Chalcolithic or Upper Paleolithic ages. And some of the reasoning for this is that in the very famous French caves, the Lascaux cave paintings, there's possible representation of Taurus the bull. And there's I guess this cave is known for like all these bull
Yeah,
cave paintings.
I think there's like a Werner Herzog documentary on that, I want to say.
Okay, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently that they're thinking that Taurus is actually featured in these cave paintings. So very old recognition of Taurus the bull. For the Babylonians, it was known as the bull of heaven. And it's mentioned in the Epic of Gilgamesh, where apparently Ishtar sent this bull after Gilgamesh because Gilgamesh spurned her advances.
Well,
hey,
good for her.
hashtag feminism. And in Kidu, Gilgamesh's best buddy, he tears off the bull's leg and throws it into the sky. And the bull's leg then actually becomes what we know of today as Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, the big and little bears, which those are the bears are the Greek things.
Is this why in like all the constellation art I've seen, a Taurus never has legs?
Oh, maybe, yeah, because Enkidu ripped them the fuck off,
Yeah.
protecting his buddy, which is nice. I mean, that's a nice demonstration of
Okay.
friendship.
Yeah.
Don't they he ends up killing Enkidu in the Gilgamesh
I
tales, right?
can't remember.
I
It's
can't
been a
remember.
few thousand years.
I remember it being like sad. It's also though identified with Inanna, the Sumerian goddess of sexual love, fertility, and of course warfare.
Of course.
All those things, all's fair is love and war. So Goes together. The Egyptians, they saw it also as a sacred bull, associated with the renewal of life in spring, because the sun would be in Taurus as spring came around during that time period. So that's what they associated with. The Greeks, of course, many stories with the Greeks. The Greeks just are all over the place with their shit. And it typically involves Zeus. So one of them is like Zeus. He turned into a bull to abduct Europa, to obviously rape her. Also, Zeus turned Io, another human he was, doing a thing with, into a bull to hide her from Hera. Yeah,
he does that a lot.
Yeah, he's either turning into animals to rape women, or he's turning women into animals to hide them from his wife Hera. Is basically that is Zeus's MO to a T in most the Greek myths that involve Zeus. But there is another one. The third one is that it's the Cretan bull from the labors of Heracles, or Hercules, as more commonly known.
Heracles.
And this one I thought was interesting because we don't talk a lot about like the Inuit and how they view the night skies. And the Inuit see Taurus as Sakiatiat.
That's
apologies.
fun.
And the Hyades, the Hyades is Nanerjuk.
And what does that mean?
The spirit of the bear.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
The polar bear.
The polar bear. So, even though it's cold, I feel like it's a warming thing. That's why I wanted to name my drink.
I like that.
And so Aldebaran represents the bear, and the remainder of the stars in the Hyades are like dogs holding the beast at bay. So I thought that was fun. That was interesting. That was something finally that wasn't a bull for Taurus, basically. Everybody saw a bull, but the Inuit were like, fuck that shit. We're going to think for ourselves.
They're like, what's a bull?
Exactly. That's true. They wouldn't have bulls. They wouldn't have that. They wouldn't have that species to.
That's one of the three animals we know up there.
Yeah, the polar bear is specific to their culture and their area, so that makes total sense.
I wonder if there is some culture down south that had like a penguin constellation.
Who lives
way down south
in Antarctica for a
well, like in the southern
constellation?
tip of Argentina, you get some penguins.
Okay.
So
I don't know.
It's possible.
Would that be like a Mesoamerican?
Something like that.
Culture? I don't know. Okay, well, something to look into.
Ponder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know a planetarium that's really into Mesoamerican archaeoastronomy up in New York that maybe would have an answer to that. Anyway, okay, the rest of the sky. Obviously, the sky isn't just Taurus the Bull. That's just our constellation highlight for today, but the December night sky, we got some planets that are going to be up and visible as long as, it's clear and not cloudy and snowing and raining and all that kind of thing that winter tends to bring. But Mercury, even though it's typically a sneaky little bugger, if Mercury was like a RPG class, it would be a rogue. Because it's always like hiding.
A ranger?
No, it's a rogue because it's like hiding in the sun's glare, waiting to
and
strike.
that also makes sense for the mythology behind it as well. I think I'm good with rogue.
You're good with rogue?
Okay,
yeah,
all right. So up next in the Hangover, after we do the constellations, I want to class all the planets.
Class all the planets? All right, class all the planets. Chat, write that down. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm going to remember. So after December 5th, Mercury is actually, it's going to be the better time to see Mercury. It's going to be approaching its greatest western elongation, which means it's the farthest. It is from the sun. It'll be 22 degrees far from the sun, apart from the sun in the sky. So what, your fist is 10 degrees? Is your fist 5 degrees or 10 degrees?
I think it's 10
degrees? Yeah. So about
15.
2.
We're bad.
Two and a finger, maybe? Two fists and a finger away.
It's like one Inka-bink.
Inka-bink. And actually the very best time to see Mercury low in the eastern horizon is Christmas!
Hey!
Merry Christmas! Okay, Jack confirmed. Fist is 10. Your fist is 10 degrees.
Excellent. My chat is way behind. Okay.
Oh, well, we have is it? Okay. Well, I don't know.
That's fine.
It'll be low in the eastern sky before sunrise, so that is the best time to see Mercury. Venus, it'll be visible all month long, about 4 hours after sunset, and it's very bright, so it'll be easy to spot. Mars rises late in the evening, and it'll be brightening over the next few months as it gets closer to the Earth in its orbit. So we are getting a little bit closer, not in like a collision kind of. We have stable orbits, people. The planets are in stable orbits.
That's
But
also a password you would tell to a guy behind the door to let you in. Mars rises late evening.
that is, oh, I like that. So you can find Mars. Jupes.
Drippy Doops.
Jupy Dupes. It's up all night
Night long,
long.
all
All
night.
night. All night. And Saturn, it'll be up for most of the night, all
Okay.
night long. So,
All month long at that.
Oh, hang 10 is 20.
Oh.
Hey, hang 10, 20. Hang loose. Hang 10,
Hey.
hang 20.
Nice.
I like this. Hang 20. I'm going to say hang 20 now. From now, because I do
To,
this all the
to, like,
time
to
as a
who?
surfer. I know, that's totally what I do. All right, so those are the planets that are going to be visible in December, all obviously weather and clouds permitting. There are a few celestial events that will be coming up.
Buy your tickets now.
Yeah, get them while they're hot. Pre-sale going on now. December 7th, Jupes at opposition. So that means it's its closest point in its orbit to the Earth and the brightest in our nighttime sky.
Nice.
December 15th will be a full moon, which is known as the cold moon.
Okay. Did you make that up or is that real?
No, it's the cold moon because winters get dark and it gets cold. That's
Okay.
literally what the reason. Also, like the Yule tide or the Yule moon.
See, that one I've heard of. I've never heard it called cold moon before.
Cold moon. Just it's the cold moon. I
All
mean, it's nippy out. I don't know
Yeah,
what
I
to
get
tell
it.
you.
No, it's chilly.
And of course, December 21st, happy winter, y'all.
Hey, we made it to winter.
It's the winter solstice.
The last winter we'll ever have.
Party like the Greeks or whoever did the winter, Romans, whoever celebrated the witches. I don't know.
Celebrate like witches. I like
Celebrate
this.
like witches. Yeah, break out that eggnog. Winter has arrived finally. And of course, meteor shower watch. Our last meteor shower of 2024. Boop 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 boop. Meteor shower watch. Are you gonna make a comment on me writing y'all in the notes?
No, but I did change the name of winter.
Oh. Did I? It looks this. Oh. Winter is sleeping on the chair right now, but he will arrive at some point. So meteor shower watch 2024, last meteor showers of 2024. We have the Geminids. This one's a doozy. This one's a good one.
Boy.
This is one of the best ones of the year. December 13th through 14th is when it peaks. You can see up to 120 meteors per hour. So it's a lot. However, it's gonna be like an almost full moon. So boo to the moon for blocking out a lot of that stuff. Stop spilling on yourself.
I'll be in Texas anyway.
Oh my gosh, this mug is not conducive to gesturing because everything.
I don't think any container that holds liquid is good for gesturing.
Okay, that's fair. I even put my like warming thing on so my tea wouldn't get cold, but my hot bourbon wouldn't get cold. All right, I'm gonna put it down.
Okay.
So I can
Putting it
gesture. All right. And the what am I on? The Geminids. They look like they're originating from the constellation of Gemini, which is why they're called the Geminids. That's their radium point. But it's best when you go outside just to kind of look up and not try to focus on a specific point, and you can see them zip overhead. And these ones typically. Meteor showers are like dust grains from passing through the tail of a comet, but this is actually debris left behind by an asteroid.
Damn.
Asteroid 3200 Phaethon. Cool. Thanks, Phaethon, for your debris.
Thanks for your poop trail.
your rocky poop trail. But it's not the only meteor shower. There's a minor meteor shower towards the end of December. The Ursids, which it peaks December 21st through 22nd, about 5 to 10 meters per hour, so nothing too fancy, and it's also going to be like a waning gibbous moon, which means the moon's still going to be fairly bright, so, but hey, if it's clear and you got nothing to do, and you get some hot cocoa or a hot toddy or something,
Go get high in the sky.
Yeah, go get high in the sky,
Hey, that's the name of this show.
I know. Which is ironic that we're drinking things.
Is it?
Yeah, well, Anyway, okay, I'm back to drinking now.
Okay, same.
All right. Astronomy news. We've covered the night sky. Those are the main things that are happening in the night sky. There's a lot of things that are in the night sky because the night sky, if you think about the night sky, when you look up at the night sky, that's the entire universe that you're looking at.
Except yourself. You have to look inward for the rest of the universe.
Yes, the rest of it is inside you. That is the third dimension right there. Is inside yourself. That's the multiverse. So astronomy news. For astronomy news, here's what I typically do for astronomy news: is I Google astronomy news, and then I find the stories that seem like the most interesting to me, or whatever. So that's what the rationale is behind
how you find the news.
Yeah, that's how you find the news. So
okay,
the first one comes from phys.org. Telescope for NASA's Roman mission complete and delivered to Goddard. So this is the Nancy Grace Roman telescope, and they received the optical telescope assembly, which this is kind of like, I don't know, the main part of the telescope, so it collects all the light and shit to see things. And that optical assembly includes a 7.9-foot primary mirror, 9 additional mirrors, and all the supporting structures and electronics and shit that make it work. So it's currently being built at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland. And this telescope has a 300 megapixel infrared camera.
Wow. It's a lot of pixels.
This telescope is being designed to survey the cosmos, the universe, all
Makes
the
sense
way.
for a telescope.
Right? Yeah, it's kind of what they do. Kind of their jam. But it's gonna survey the universe from basically here through the outskirts, like as far as we can see, the edge of the observable universe. And it has this coronagraph instrument that is designed to block out the light of host stars so we can observe exoplanets as well.
Completely normal things to do.
Supposed to be able to observe exoplanets in far greater detail than we have before. And it is sent to launch. Get ready. Get your tickets. May 2027.
It's not bad. Because you got Europa Clipper launch, but it's not getting to Europa until 2030 something.
That's true. I know.
3 years, basically 2 years away, is not bad.
I know. God, space exploration takes so long, you guys.
It's hard.
Space is hard, and you got to be real patient. I'm not a patient person, so I could not work on any of these projects if I was remotely qualified. But anyway, so that's exciting. So progress coming along with a brand new telescope, and new telescopes are always good. Always a good thing to have. Next article, phys.org as well. You can see what websites I tend to go to. Latest findings from the South Pole telescope. Also, did you know there's a telescope in the South Pole? There is. The South Pole telescope bolster the standard cosmological model. Ooh, so we get support for the standard cosmological model of basically how the universe came into being. Good. So it's like something happened. There was a known as the Big Bang, although no bang actually included, and here we are today. Now, this is a story for Mike.
We got some places, we got things over here.
Yeah, yeah.
He's kind of fudging numbers there.
So Mike's not here to explain this, so bear with me because there's actually a couple articles I found that I put in for some reason that I was like,
physics?
and my brain was melting, and I was like, why am I doing this? Especially when I've had some.
All right, let's do this. Let's melt some brains.
Hot
I'm looking at some of these words. So, yeah,
okay.
This will be fun.
All right. So, this is a new study using the CMB, also known as the cosmic microwave background.
Hell yeah, CMB.
We've talked about it a lot. And this is basically the first light of the universe 400,000 years after the Big Bang. All right, so this is when photons basically were able to finally kind of like escape the primordial soup, if you will, and light could happen.
Yeah, just happens.
Light could happen. So the South Pole Telescope, it's located at the National Science Foundation's Amundsen Scott South Pole Station and Antarctica. So, a nice desolate, remote, cold space, which is what you want for a telescope. You want desolate, you want remote, and you really want cold as well. Cold is good.
Magnificent desolation.
Oh my God.
Sorry, pulling the Buzz Aldrin quotes out here.
Beautiful. So this research actually conducted by UC Davis researchers.
Hey.
Go UC Davis, UC system. I don't know how good it is, but I'm from California, so anyway. And colleagues in the South Pole Telescope collaboration, and they used high precision measurements of the cosmic microwave background and its polarized light.
Okey-dokey.
Stay with me. All right.
I'm on it. So far, so good.
It makes a calculation of the Hubble constant, which is how fast the universe is expanding with
Excellent.
a new method. Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right. Okay, so scientists currently can't come to agreement on the rate of expansion of the universe. It's known as Hubble tension. Think we either recently had a shot about it or it's in a recent episode. Mike talked about Hubble tension. All right, but there's tension out there. All right. So this team, they used polarization data. I got my notes. I'm reading this here. Okay.
Own it. You got it.
So the team used their polarization data combined with the standard cosmological model to make a new prediction for the rate of expansion of the universe. Their prediction is consistent with the prediction made using the cosmic microwave background intensity maps measured by the Planck satellite, which is a ESA agency, European Space Agency. Okay, so this is good.
So they're getting it right, but we're going to find out what that right is.
Guys, this is how science happens. You have independent groups doing the same research, and then when you get stuff that matches, we know things, which is great. Okay, hold on. My iPad, stop. No, cancel. Undo. I don't. No, iPad's frozen.
Well, I heard the rumor that the researchers, they actually analyzed 2 years of polarized light data collected by the South Pole Telescope in 2019 and 2020.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And in fact, doing so, the study's observations cover 1,500 square degrees of sky, which is a lot.
It's a lot.
And then collected all that data. It enabled the researchers to create a large-scale map of the mass in the universe.
Yes.
Of the mass.
Yes, the mass. Okay. So, most natural light is, yes, we have a Google Doc that we share. We have a shared Google Doc that we can all look at the notes and everything.
I just know these things too.
Leia just bumped the whole table that the camera's on. Anyway, so most natural light is polarized. But when light is reflected, it can become, most natural light is unpolarized. But when light is reflected, it can become polarized, meaning the light oscillates in preferred directions. Okay. This happens, for example, when sunlight reflects off water or the ground, and it's the reason polarized sunglasses can be helpful in reducing glare. This also happens as the cosmic microwave background photons underwent their final scattering events in the primordial plasma. Direct quote taken from the phys.org article, obviously. So they are measuring each location in our sky map to the degree which it's polarized and the orientation of polarization. So they're getting into the nitty gritty details of this polarized light. Is it the same as the Earth's albedo? This is why Mike needs to be here.
I don't quite.
No, I don't. I'm going to say no, but I don't know. I don't know the answer to your question, Elizabeth.
Question. Anyway.
Okay. So, quote, we have a largely coherent, detailed, and successful model describing these 14 billion years of evolution, said Lloyd Knox, the Michael and Esther Vida Endowed Chair in Cosmology and Astrophysics at UC Davis and one of the study's co-authors. But we don't know what actually happens, what actually generated the initial departures from complete homogeneity. God, I was really just trying to be confident on that word. That eventually led to all the structures in the universe, including ourselves. Okay, so they basically have a model of the early solar system and how and what was happening, but we still don't know what essentially started it all.
But what was if we go back,
Mike's awake from India at 3 in the morning.
Go to sleep, Mike.
So off the oceans, probably not for land, generally not polarized. Answer Elizabeth's question: is it the same as Earth's albedo? Homogeneity. Thank you.
But you can imagine then light reflects off clouds as well, and that's water.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Earth is mostly covered by clouds at any given
Yes.
point. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
shifts.
Yeah.
But question for Liz.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
So this team made a prediction
Mm-hmm.
for the rate of expansion, but nowhere in these notes is that rate of expansion
well,
listed.
it aligns with the.
Yeah, right. It aligns with the data that they're seeing.
It lines with the where was it? Where was it? It goes with the one method, the constant method. It's consistent with whatever the prediction is that was made by the CMV intensity maps. So that prediction, which I didn't write down, but that prediction of the rate of the universe that is with the CMV intensity maps, that's the one it corresponds with. Versus there's another method which Mike talks about in another episode as well, or a shot episode, like because there's like two methods of this Hubble where the Hubble tension goes. Two methods of kind of figuring out the Hubble constant, and one has to do with like analyzing supernovae, I believe, and so it's more consistent with the other method than the analyzation of the supernovae.
That fucks a lot of things up, though.
Oh, Mike just said it. It aligns with the other CMV methods, but isn't aligned with the supernova method.
Oh,
hey!
Wow. That messes a lot of things up. That's exciting.
Oh, the tension is still there, guys.
The tension is always still there. Let's be real.
The tension is still there. Okay.
All right, what's up next?
There's always tension. All right, next story. Also, Science Be Wild. Okay, so phys.org. There are some articles not from phys.org, I'll just say that. But long sought measurement of exotic beta decay in thallium. This is the other article that I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Helps us extract the timescale of the sun's birth.
I'm sorry. Exotic beta decay is the name of a strip club on Risa. And that is not a Star Wars reference. We don't have to drink to that.
Also, like a prog rock band name.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And their songs go as long as it takes for the exotic beta to decay,
yes,
which is
exactly.
like
very long.
Hundreds of years.
Very long. This is just to get you. Eventually, you got to switch songs. Okay, so we all know, or it is known, that our son found. Oh, we have to drink. We have to drink to that.
Why?
We're drinking to that.
Why?
All right. Well, because
that was a
Elizabeth
Star
said
Trek
so.
reference.
Because
Okay.
Elizabeth said so.
I'm running real low.
And whenever Elizabeth says anything, you do it.
I respect that.
Okay, so the sun formed out of a cloud of gas and dust, the stellar nursery, as we call it. A stellar nursery, a planet, it formed out of a cloud of gas and dust. But how long did it take to actually form in that stellar nursery? Okay, we don't.
42 stellar units.
Exactly. Okay, but we don't really know how long that took. So, guys, when you name a kid Guy, or is it Guy? But Guy or Guy?
Guy.
Either way, Guy Leckenby, a doctoral student from Triumph. I didn't look
With
up
an
what
F.
that says, what that meant. And this is the first author of the publication. Okay, so there's a lot. I was reading this and I was like, there's so many things in here that I don't know how to talk about or explain. There's a lot of it's like elemental decay, elements are happening. I don't know.
Sure.
But basically, in a nutshell.
It's elementary.
It is. In a nutshell, measurement of the bound state beta decay of fully ionized thallium ions at the experimental storage ring of GSI/FAIR. This is an accelerator, basically. It's part of an accelerator. That's what I was like, what is this?
Shit.
So a particle accelerator is doing some shit. Again, a lot of complicated things my brain can't handle. But the result is that our sun took about 10 to 20 million years to form.
Okay.
10 to 20 million. I mean,
seems respectable.
Okay, before it was like the sun took like tens of millions of years. That was what it was before.
I mean, technically 20 million is still tens of millions.
Yes, but now we have a more refined range.
That's how
of
science
formation.
works.
And that's how science, instead of going,
it
took a long time. Now you can be like, it took roughly this amount of time. So I think that's really cool that we have a more refined.
I think it's really hot.
Time scale. It's fucking. I'll give that to you. God, I like puns way too much. Okay, next article from Durham University in Edinburgh.
Oh,
Edinburgh. Is that good?
Like the Durham Bulls.
No. Durham University. So, new model could calculate the possibility of intelligent life in
Well,
our
I'll, I'll,
universe and
I'll tell you
beyond.
what. After this last week, that model just went down.
Save it for the in memoriam or the hangover. Anyway, so I thought this was interesting. Again, another article I couldn't quite. I don't understand a lot of people. Okay, let's look. I talk in layman's terms. This is how I understand and explain astronomy. But I thought it was really interesting because we know currently there's an equation called the Drake equation, developed by Frank Drake Dr. Frank Drake in the 1960s. That is an equation for how much intelligent life there is in the galaxy or the universe.
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
But
okay.
I appreciate how close you were to saying Fermi right there.
So the Drake equation, and I put this all out in the notes because I did want to say what the Drake, because I also
I love the Drake equation.
I love it. I do want a tattoo of the Drake equation.
Then we both have a tattoo of something Frank Drake did.
Yeah. Oh God, we just have so many matching tattoos. So the Drake equation is basically okay. It's like there's a lot of letters because high level math apparently doesn't use any numbers, and it uses all letters or squiggly lines, as Mike loves. So,
well, in fairness, these letters are just representation of numbers.
That's,
like it's a standard.
Yes, I know.
For like 6
I should have wrote out what the actual Drake equation like it was, but so basically there's a bunch of different parts to it that's all getting mathed together. So you have N, which is the number of civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy which communication might be possible. So this is the answer part. So N equals, yes, Brandon.
Can you do this in the tune of that Frank Sinatra song? L is for the way you look at me. O is for observing the universe.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Hold on 1 second. So it's N equals R star times I guess FP times NE times FL times FI times FC times L. So N is the number. Oh, no, I can't.
You're close though.
Okay, so it's the number of civilizations in the Milky Way that could be intelligent enough to communicate. So to get that answer, to get that number, we take R star, which is the average rate of star formation in our galaxy, times the fraction of those stars that have planets, times the average number of planets that can potentially support life per star that has planets, times the fraction of planets with life that go on to develop intelligent life, parentheses, civilizations, times the fraction of civilizations that develop a technology that releases detectable signs of their existence in space, aka radio waves, times the length of time for which such civilizations release detectable signals into space. So it's basically saying you got to look at like the amount of stars in the galaxy, the amount that have exoplanets, the amount that could possibly then have life form on them that are in conditions where life can form as we know it. So like say planets that have liquid water on their surface and are in the habitable zone, for instance. And then that the possibility that, life could evolve to a point of, a thinking species, plus the chances of life then becoming a thinking species that can then utilize like radio waves, for example, that can send communications out. So that's what the Drake,
the Jonathan Frank equation.
that's what it does. So back to the original article, which is a new method for seeing how much intelligent life there could be in the universe, not just our galaxy. So researchers at Durham, the University of Edinburgh, and the Université of Geneva have produced a new model based on the conditions created by the acceleration of the universe's expansion and the amount of stars that form instead.
Okay, so we're getting a big number.
So it's like the rate of the Hubble tension basically.
Yeah, but all comes back to Hubble.
All comes back to Hubble. And the amount of stars that are forming in the universe's expansion. So what they did is they calculated the fraction of ordinary matter that converted into stars over the entire history of the universe for different dark matter densities. Obviously, they used a supercomputer to do some fancy ass math because we don't know what dark energy is. We don't know what dark matter is. So we need to use different examples of these densities of what they could be to they're hypothesizing a lot. They're hypothesizing, doing experimentation. So the models predict that the fraction of ordinary matter converted into stars over the entire history of universes of the universe would be approximately 27% in a universe that is most efficient at forming stars, compared to the 23% of our universe.
Oh.
So this new model, what it can do is allow scientists to understand the effects of differing densities of dark energy on the formation of structures in the universe and the conditions for life to develop in the cosmos. Is everybody's brain intact?
Sorry, I was also just eyeing Frodo there, who is mounting an attack.
Okay, so crucially, what this does is the research suggests that the astrophysics of star formation and the evolution of the large-scale structure of the universe combine in a subtle way. I lost my spot. In a subtle way. To determine the optimal value of dark energy density needed for the generation of intelligible life. So they test that using supercomputers with varying models of different densities of dark matter in them. Okay, so it's kind of all.
Did they come out with a number?
This is what it was. Is that the most efficient at forming stars is where the density, that the fraction, that the ordinary matter is 27% of dark energy is what I'm taking from this. Where our universe currently is ordinary matter is 23% of dark energy.
But what about the probability of intelligent life?
To have intelligent
27%.
life.
Oh,
to have intelligent life. So I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. I don't know why I put this article in, because I don't get it, and I wish Mike was here for this. Mike, wake up.
But
don't go back to sleep.
If 27%, I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, what's fascinating about it is that they are doing these calculations based on how
math.
Dark energy interacts with, well, not interacts because it doesn't interact, I guess, but the amount of dark energy and the amount of ordinary matter and what you need for intelligent life. So they're doing crazy supercomputer math with that to figure out how much life there could be, I guess. That is the equation. That is the thing. Anyway. Okay, cool. Our brains are all melted. None of us understand a thing of what happened, but we all learned a little bit about the Drake equation. So
hey, I'd say it's a net positive.
Yes. Honestly, I just wanted to kind of do the Drake equation. That's really kind of what I wanted to. That's why I snuck that in, because I was like, ooh, Drake equation. Okay, so Mike says it's a fun calculation that can't be proven one way or another. Oh, okay. So it's just fun. It's for funsies. It's a little fun science.
If you're an omnipotent being, you can prove it. That's all it takes.
Oh, that's all it takes.
Being an omnipotent being. How hard is that, science?
Sure. You know what? You are what you eat.
I can't eat omnipotent beings.
All right, next article.
Okay.
All right, skytelescope.org is where this is from. Scientists, but Mike says the life part, the other parts are pretty solid. Okay, so you can't prove the life part. Yeah, because we can't.
Right.
We need actual. We need to actually discover life that's not on the fucking Earth, or our solar system. Actually, I would even say. So, skyandtelescope.org.
Yes.
Scientists have found possibly the oldest and largest crater on Venus.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's nothing like they've ever seen before.
My God.
Oh, God. Okay, so what I found interesting about this is because, Venus has been largely volcanic in its history, which means it's had a lot of resurfacing. So in the early solar system, there's a lot of shit flying around known as the heavy bombardment period. Things were getting hit all over the place. Okay, planets were just getting impacted left and right by stuff, but we don't see a lot of evidence on this on Venus, or really the Earth as well.
Why is that?
We've had a lot of resurfacing. Not only do we have an atmosphere, and Venus has a very fucking thick atmosphere, but we have volcanoes, on Earth specifically, we have liquid water. And
Earthquakes
these
going
earthquakes
on.
and these geological processes, they basically they kind of erase
Yeah,
history.
and we.
It's like what a woman's foundation does over her face. It
Oh,
just
that's very nice. Just
makes it nice.
resurfaces it.
It resurfaces it. And so Venus has had a lot of resurfacing. So seeing old impact craters is a little bit tricky. Also, seeing the surface of Venus is a little bit tricky because it has a very thick carbon dioxide atmosphere, which means we can only see Venus's surface through radar imaging. We need to send radio waves to ping the surface of Venus and bounce back, and then we can make a map of the surface of Venus.
Neat.
Which is really fun. So whenever you see an image online that's the surface of Venus and it's like all like orangey yellow and
yeah.
stuff, that is radar imaging. That's not like a visual light.
Can't quite see through the clouds.
Yeah, we can't quite see through them. So, detailed mapping of one of the oldest terrains on Venus has revealed a giant impact structure of a type that's never been before seen on a terrestrial planet. So like the oldest crater that they've kind of seen on Venus so far might be about like 1 billion years old.
Wow, that's really old for what I expected on Venus.
Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah,
Yeah.
right? Whereas like on like other like the moon, we can see like older ones, and it's also smaller. It's only 186 miles across, where we can see much
Only.
larger ones on other planets. But Vicky Hansen of the Planetary Society Institute found the possible crater while leading an effort to map this oldest type of terrain on Venus, known as tesserae. Not the tesseract,
Tesserae.
but the tesserae.
Very nice.
So these tesserae features are known only on Venus. We don't see them on any other rocky world. And they can span hundreds of thousands of kilometers, which I also assume equates to hundreds of thousands of miles. And they cover 10% of Venus's surface, which is, I mean, a good amount, right?
What is this tesserae? I'm interested.
So the formation of these are at least 1.5 billion years old. So if hold on, I gotta look at what did I do in my notes here.
I'm looking at things now.
Okay, so the crater that was supposedly found. Oh wait, I have a picture of this. Hold on, I made pictures. I took the time to make pictures. Here we go. Okay, so this is what the specific image of this crater. You can see the top image is basically the radar image surface. The bottom image, you can see these lines, and you can see these ones that look like they're in a concentric circle pattern, the black lines that are making that circle pattern. They're finding that this crater is about 900 miles wide, which is 5 times more than the largest known crater on Venus. So
I don't know if the image is being shared.
it's being shared. You're just
Okay.
delayed. I can see it on our
Okay,
our stream
that's
view.
what matters.
Okay. So it's Terry Pratchett that one book you also recommended by Terry Pratchett that was also good. So
Oh, good.
Brandon recommends good books. Anyway, so they found similar concentric ring structures on the icy moons of Jupiter, on Callisto and Europa. And so on those moons, because there are these icy worlds, a large impactor punched through the icy shell that's floating on an ocean of liquid water, and it left this similar pattern. But Venus does not have any liquid water. It's not covered in an icy shell at all.
What's the opposite of icy shells? Flowing lavas?
Hot shell? Fiery
Ah,
shell?
I'm sorry, that's a drink.
Moose. Okay, wait. I have to
Well,
go back to. Wait, I'm not on the right
in
page.
spirit, I
I'm
can't,
not on the
I'm
right
out.
page. I gotta go back to our thing. Okay, now drink. Okay, I gotta put our drink image up. Okay, so they're like these. It was the black kind of circle lines in that bottom portion of it. Anyway, so Evan Bjanes of the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory and Lunar and Planetary Institute, he is an expert in planetary formation modeling, was brought in to help with this study. And he modeled the effects of different sized objects hitting solid crust covering lava pools
Damn.
of varying thickness. We
I like
know that Venus has been covered in
yeah,
lava.
and I like my crust filled with cheese.
I, you know what? I mean, I'm okay with stuffed crusts, but
Yeah, but sometimes you
like,
want a solid crust.
I mean, I don't know. I could give or take it. I honestly,
Okay.
you would think I would love a stuffed crust and
Yeah,
be
I thought so. That's why I
only for
said it.
stuffed crust, but I don't know. It can vary
Okay.
on how good it is, I guess. Anyway, okay. So the team found that a large object hitting hard,
Real hard.
real hard, on a 6-kilometer thin crust. I should have Americanized it, but I didn't. Could melt the underlying layer, splashing chunks of,
Oh.
and this is a quote, solidified scum. Solidified scum.
Solidified scum.
That could be like a punk band name. Solidified scum.
I like a good drink name.
I should have named my drink Solidified scum.
Oh, that'd be a good one. No, but you have the spirit of the polar bear. That's really cool.
Dude, and it's my Alaska
And-
mug, so it
yeah,
fits,
that makes
right?
sense.
Okay, so Nana Jurek, it's done. Okay, so this could melt the underlying layer, splashing chunks of solidified scum to make the tesserae, but a single impact couldn't do it alone, which means there was not one, but 2 impacts in the same spot, which seem very fucking unlikely to happen, right? However, that tesserae is like a thin crust over a pond of hot lava that the impact's energy had melted. That's going to last, actually, for quite some time. And so then you get a separate impact that happens in that same area millions of years afterwards, per se.
Huh.
Okay. That then, I gotta read this. That then, hit that same spot and created basically what
Whoa.
they're seeing here.
That's wild.
So you had 2 impacts in the same spot that could have happened millions of years apart because that material would have stayed basically molten for a very long time. But guys, the solar system is like 4.5 billion years old. So there's a lot of time just like to chill and like
Or heat up.
heat up or actually cool down. A long time to cool down. Very hot. Okay, 6 kilometers is about 4 miles ish. So, okay, there was a lot of small shit flying around the early solar system at that time. So the chances of something hitting the same spot are really not that small of odds over a long period of time.
Yes, over the long period of time.
Yes.
Eventually, a chimpanzee is gonna write Shakespeare.
And we have.
Well, if the amount of monkeys, typewriters, that thing. I was going for that route.
It's the gorilla equation. Okay. So I thought that was neat because I don't know, like we've only had what? We've had the Russian Venera landers land
7.
on Venus's surface, which lasted not very long. We've had was it Magellan mission that surveyed the surface with radars?
Sounds right. And then we have a few
Venus's
more.
radar. There haven't
And
been
there's
a lot
another one
of
going to Venus eventually soon.
yes, but there hasn't been a lot of exploration of Venus. We can't just see through its cloud layers by looking at it, and so if Venus, it's weird because the majority of the planets in our solar system are largely mysteries to us. We don't understand a lot about the evolution of them and what's happened to them. And Venus, quite theoretically, was an ocean world like the Earth was, and went through a possible runaway greenhouse effect in the past, where it had a lot of volcanic activity, developing a thick atmosphere, trapping more carbon dioxide, and then heating the planet up. Sound familiar? Whereas Mars went through kind of a runaway refrigerator effect, where it has a much thinner atmosphere and allowed. And wasn't able to keep that heat, and so
Losing
that water
magnetic
eventually
field.
Yeah, so it lost the magnetic field, the water eventually evaporated, and now you get this cold, desolate world that Mars is. So you have these they're 2 extreme polar, if you will, opposite planets that flank us. a very habitable world that we see, but we don't know a lot about. We know a lot more about Mars than we do than we do Venus, and that's because Mars is a lot easier to explore than Venus is. I think the Russian spacecraft Venera, they had one, or I don't know, but the one that took the pictures that we actually
Venera
have.
7.
Venera 7, we actually have photos of Venus' surface, but it melted in like.
It was fast.
Yeah, it did not last long on the surface.
But it could have made a lot of pizzas down there.
It could have. You could cook a large pizza in 9 seconds.
9 seconds, thank you.
You're welcome. I knew I was going to say it at some point. I knew I was going to say it.
Well, in other space news, and this will lead into your next point, I think, JPL is going through yet another round of layoffs.
Yes, I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that. I didn't.
So back in February, they had to lay off 580 employees, and now it's another 325. So that's slightly less than 1,000 JPL employees gone this year. But luckily, things are only looking up in the future, right? Because we value science and knowledge in this country.
Guys, okay, most of the shit you use today is because of space exploration. The technologies we develop for space exploration trickle down. It's an actual trickle down that works.
I think it's every dollar that gets put in NASA, the U.S. economy gets $3 back, I want to say.
That is a significant.
That's huge. No other agency does that.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that and it was just so heartening. So,
I mean, there's even more news if we want to go into it, but
we don't
need to go into that right now.
So in memoriam, those people that lost their jobs at JPL, they're still with us, but their jobs, in memoriam to their jobs, but hopefully they will find jobs at other places that value.
They're brilliant people.
Elizabeth says, solidified scum is what happens when you freeze hypnotic into ice cubes.
Oh,
that's an alcohol or a liqueur, maybe. So I found this I don't know if interesting fact, but I found this nugget. I had Googled like recent like deaths in astronomy world to, highlight for a memorial. Maybe something we didn't know about or that we want to highlight or whatever. And I found this popped up with Google's AI generation, because that's happening. According to Sky and Telescope, astronomers are more likely to die by suicide than homicide. The median life expectancy for astronomers is 72, with the highest peaks occurring at ages 66, 71, and 77 to 78.
Now, I don't want to put a damper on this. I know it's but wouldn't most demographics have a higher count of suicide than homicide? Because homicide is probably slightly more rare.
Well, I mean, unless you're like a school child in the U.S. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I never I don't know. So, hey, call or text 998 to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline if, you need some help, because obviously suicide is never good. So I just thought that was a weird fact. But in a lighter in memoriam, cheers to the death of the Democratic Republic of the United States of America. Hey.
I need more drink.
I have just enough that I haven't spilled all over my lap on this one. We had a good solid run for about 248 years. Yeah.
Really can't. I mean, we had some ups and downs for sure. Some bright moments. We walked on the moon. That was fun.
We did things.
We did some bad things as well.
I mean, hey, we inspired the French Revolution.
We did that. Yeah.
I mean, they're doing better at democracy than we are.
What else did we do? We invented sliced bread, folks.
Did we?
I think that was us.
Wow.
Yeah. Just last century. It's like,
wow.
It's like 100 years ago we invented sliced bread.
Holy crap. We did some things, people. We did some things, and now we won't do any more things. So hide your minorities, your uteruses, and your gays, everybody. Cheers to the conservative religious oligarch that is taking over country.
Okay. That's not a good note to end things on, Liz.
It's so not.
Oh man. So our next podcast will be, I believe a Brandon-led podcast episode.
Should damn well be a Brandon.
What do you mean damn well be? I've been. Thanks for carrying all the High in the Sky episodes, Liz.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just you and Mike are supposed to take the content ones, and I just do the high in the sky because I do all the other bullshit. So I get the
When was the
easier
last
ones.
content one I led? I've been busy.
I know, but
Kevin,
now you get to do one
now I
in
get the
two
next one.
weeks. We don't know what it is.
I have an idea, but I don't know if that's the year we're sticking with. I'm gonna think about it for like 2 days
Okay.
and then go in hard with the books and learning things.
Okay. Well, we got time. We got 2
Yeah,
weeks to figure
we
it
got 2
out.
weeks.
So I'm excited to see what you come up with.
And I will be here in 2 weeks. Yes.
Okay. Jack says dental training now has a lot more mental health training to help combat the high death rate. Really? Of dentists? That's my question.
Okay.
Dude, lead Hangover. I guess you can lead the Hangover. We did have some stuff for the Hangover. Oh, yes, the planets. If
Oh yeah.
hey,
What
hey,
class system are these planets?
yes,
Cool.
okay. If you watch this episode, thank you for joining us on this episode of High in the Sky for December of 2024. A lot of cool shit happens in science, and it's continuing to happen in science, and hopefully will continue to happen in science. Yes, Brandon.
I need to commit to the next episode. The next episode is about dark energy.
We've done
I know, but it's so cool. I want to do it again.
Okay, we're doing an episode on dark energy because why the fuck not? And Mike will be very excited about this because that's like right up his physics jam. So awesome. So you can join us next time for our episode on dark energy. You can also check out what happens after this episode on The Hangover, where apparently we will be, RPG classing the planets for the gamer nerds out there
The
like
one time
ourselves.
the class system is good.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. Exactly. Yes, exactly. But thanks for joining us on this episode. We'll see you guys next time. Follow us on all the things at Drinking Cosmos on the thing that nobody uses anymore, Twitter, and Cosmos to Cosmos everywhere else like Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky.
Well,
also
we are
Spotify.
now more active.
Hey! So check us out. Thanks, guys, for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
If you're with us live now, stick around. We will be back at you. Look at me. I'm using camera 3D effects.
Oh,
Boom.
stereoscopic effects. We're going to increase the frame rate first for 3D to work.
Yeah. We'll be back with The Hangover. So stick around. We'll be right back. Jack, that is a wild statistic that I would never have thought of. Thank you for sharing. Back to being muted.
Yeah,
You told us that, yes.
okay.
And what
I told him
Brandon
like
told
that.
us
Yeah.
is that Frodo will go and snip his poop like he's gonna eat it, and then he says, don't be a Leia," because Leia eats her own poop and anybody else's poop that she finds appealing, like Jack dogs.
Yes, check those.
Jack dogs. So yeah, don't be a Leia. Don't be a Leia and eat your own poop is the lesson of the beginning of this Hangover episode.
Hey!
Cosmos.
Welcome to
Hey.
the Hangover,
Thanks for
where the
joining
real
us.
fun happens.
Yeah, we just did a High in the Sky for December 2024.
We got all that nerd shit out of the way.
Yeah, fuck that science and nerd stuff. I've now switched from my hot toddy, which I drank all of it, but although how much I spilled on myself is probably about 10%
Appropriate,
maybe.
an appropriate amount.
An appropriate amount. But I've
All right.
switched to a God, Leia is you can kind of see her top of her head. She's being very needy. It is a stout from the
Ooh.
Worthy Brewing Company. Lights Out Stout is what it's called. That's what I'm
Lights out
switching.
stout. Nice.
Nice and
Oh,
after this hot toddy. Hi, sweetie. We're doing
Pop-Tarts.
the hangover now. We're doing the hangover.
This is like the quietest Frodo has been for an hour in ever. And
I was sure Jack was gonna start barking.
I
and
thought
he
for sure
didn't.
I was gonna have to even right before we started the show, I had to get up and say no barking and calm him down a little bit.
And he's done a great job.
Yes, he's tuckered out from all the destruction in the worlds he's been doing.
Yeah. Adam's bringing up Pratchett again. He just bought Feet of Clay.
Ooh, that's
What
one
was
I've
the
not
book?
read.
What was the book you had me read? It was a Discworld series.
It was part of Discworld. It was it the one with the turtle?
Yes.
Yeah. Omnium is the religion in that. I forget what it is fucking called. But there's another good one you like called Call to Arms. That's probably his most famous Discworld book, and it's fabulous.
Okay.
And they have a whole boot theory of economics. Strongly recommend checking that out.
Okay. I did enjoy the one that I read. No, you gotta go. Wait, hold on.
And I'm just trying to think of it's right. I just touched it this morning. I see it. Small Gods. That's what it was called. Small Gods.
Yes,
about
Small
a tiny
Gods.
turtle that fell from the sky because it's a god, and it has to convince the world that it is in fact a god.
Small
And
Gods.
only
that's what
one
it is.
person can understand what he's saying.
All right. So
It's great.
Leia's joining us
Hi,
because she's
puppy
being
dog.
a needy girl.
Oh.
And so she's just gonna be needy with me together.
You're an emotional support podcast dog.
She is. Although am I your emotional support human? Yeah. Okay. You're a good girl.
No question asked.
Okay.
All right, so first of all, we got here.
Hold on. Jack got
read
a
it,
drink
read
for the
it, read it.
hangover. Earl Grey with raspberry biscotti dipped in white chocolate.
I need a
Jack.
moment.
Jack.
I need a moment.
Jack's living all of our
Once
best
again,
dreams. Jack's living
Earl
all of our
Grey
best lives.
with the raspberry biscotti dipped in white chocolate. My God.
Mike says, your daddy says don't get used to this spot. She won't. Oh, Jack's coming in. Jack's like, wait a minute. What are you doing? Put your ear down. Okay. All right. This is usually how Leia is on top of me all the time. So, Elizabeth's gonna make one of those. Stay classy, San Diego. Yeah, I like that. I like that Ron Burgundy callback because that was a good show or movie.
From like 20 years ago. Oh God.
Okay, there was an article that I saw today that
Oh.
World of Warcraft is 20 years old, and I was like, huh.
That's it?
How?
At least wait. Is RuneScape older or younger than World of Warcraft?
I would not know. I've never played RuneScape.
You're not the runer?
I'm not.
A scaper? A runer scaper?
No,
I don't know what they
no.
call themselves.
RuneScape. RuneScape.
Oh shit! So there's a console coming out, which right now they're sold out, but I'm on the waiting list for. It's the N64, but in 4K, and I am so excited to buy the shit out of that.
What?
I know. I'll send you the link, but
Mario
again,
Kart in 4K?
yeah, that's the whole thing. Mario Kart in 4K, and then there's a game where you have a drink and you have your Mario Kart game, but you have to finish your drink before you finish the race.
Oh.
So do you chug beforehand and race, or do you go?
There's no way I can drink while racing.
No, I think you chug it before because when you're in last place, you get the lightnings and the stars to catch up faster.
Yeah. And the the red shell, blue shell?
Blue shell.
Blue
Yeah,
shell?
I prefer the red shells, but yeah, the blue shell also
Oh,
shoved in.
okay. Katie wants me to get it so you can play it. All right. I remember the Christmas that we got in N64.
Same.
Oh God, it
That
was
was the
so
best.
great. It was the best. It was really. Oh
So
my God.
every Christmas we play Cards Against Humanity with my mom, and we make her read all the cards we put in front of her because it's hilarious. Um, and one of them is one of the custom cards, and I feel bad about this, but I played it specifically to hear her read it, and it was um, getting an N64 for Christmas to make up for years of shitty parenting.
Oh, that's so mean.
I know.
I assume your mom takes it in stride though. She knows that
She
it's.
actually wins typically.
We have Cards Against Humanity. We have not introduced that to my parents yet. Jack says his sister broke the news to him that Mist is 31 years
Oh,
old.
wow.
I tried
Uh-oh.
playing Mist once.
I have
I
something to
couldn't.
check.
I couldn't. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't. I remember going to my
Okay.
friend's house to play
This
Mist, and I couldn't.
this one's not going to
Um,
feel. Oh
okay,
God, no.
Adam's saying, are you checking out what Adam FFPGA Mister for some immolation?
Oh, okay. I can check that out. Um,
Mist is one of those weird. Okay, you're rude.
oh God. So my go-to game that I still play a few times a year, just turned 25 years old, and it's Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's 25 years old.
How old is The Sims? The Sims has
Oh, The
got to
Sims
be.
1. That's gonna be what, 2003?
Mm.
Um.
Oh God, I'm trying to think. I base things on. So 2003 is when I graduated high school. So I'm like,
Oh.
what was happening?
Oh no.
at that time?
Oh no. It's
Oh.
also about to turn 25 years old.
Oh God, guys, we're just old now. Let's just accept it. We're
Are we just
just.
listing things now and looking
Yeah, that we're
at how
old.
old they
No,
are?
no,
All right.
no. We were gonna give. We were in the light of gaming. We were gonna give
Oh,
the
right, because we can
planets
go
their
see how
own
old D&D is.
class. Gears of War is 18. Halo 2 is
Jesus.
20.
Halo 2 is oh God.
I just
Okay, so
died.
God,
I
playing the
just
original
died
Halo
inside.
was such a mind blower. Like it was so even with the giant Xbox controller you had, it was the coolest one of the coolest gaming experiences
Oh
I've
my
had.
God.
What's one of your favorite gaming experiences? Let's just do this.
It's playing Halo multiplayer with my friends.
Blood Gulch.
Oh my God, playing with them was so great. I would always get. I was very good. I would be very good with the sticky
Oh,
grenades.
see, yep, the stickies, gotta have those.
I was horrible with rocket launchers,
Those are the fun
but
ones.
they are fun. But I would
Uh-huh.
usually end up blowing myself up instead of
That's
who
fair.
I was
When
targeting.
when it came to first person shooters like that, like I was easily one of the worst in my friend group
Oh, I
when it
was
came to shooting
definitely the
things.
worst. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
100% the worst, but
But
it was
still
still
put me
the.
in pretty good, competition with everyone else. But my friends, they're a bunch of assholes, so they were really good.
Oh yeah, yeah. My friends were good too, but it was the funnest time I had because we just play multiplayer, and it was I don't know. That's like what sticks with me as being fun, and that and World of Warcraft. Because I mean I'm a quester. I'm not a raider. I'm not good. So raiding is like not good, and I always choose like a DPS, like kind of like a warlock type character anyway, where
Mm-hmm.
I can stand in the back and just fucking spam fucking shit out. But playing
Go right in
WoW
the
with my
bullshit.
friends was fun as well. Those are the two games that were really like, but the ones that I really like delved into in
Hmm.
addition to WoW and like I did more Halo multiplayer than I did like the main story, but like the first Borderlands,
Mm.
Destiny, the first Destiny, God, I mean obviously like the like Mario
Of
64 and
course,
like
I'm
like those kind of things, but um
yeah,
yeah, obviously Elden Ring is like top right
right,
now of
yeah,
like the one I've really invested in. I'm currently playing Dragon Age Vanguard,
that's
which I
right.
just started. So,
Now that you were productive earlier today, you can go
yes,
brain rot
I
next.
can. I can. So, I'm a very, I like to quest. I like the RPGs. I don't like the stress of like raiding or like having to like play with strangers, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
That's not what I like to do. But, anyway, so that's what I,
Neat.
okay. Um, Jack says he used Roller Coaster Tycoon as a topic in his grad class last semester. So he broke down and
Nice.
got an open roller
Nice. Nice.
coaster.
Nice.
I
So that
did enjoy. I played The Sims a little bit. And I played. I think I played a little bit of Roller Coaster Tycoon. Or I mean, it
once
is kind of fun, like trying to build
once every like
stuff.
5 years, I'll do a deep dive in The Sims. The last one was in 2020 when I was working a job that involved phones. And I got real into The Sims then. And of course, Roller Coaster Tycoon, I'll probably play once a year for like 3 days straight,
Funsies.
nonstop. And I think,
Katie's trying to do sphere grids for her characters in Final Fantasy
ooh,
10. I'm guessing because it's X. I got into Katie got me into a Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy. Which one was it? The one with the food that the guy made and stuff. The last, maybe the last Final Fantasy, not the most recent Final Fantasy, but
but the one with the food.
the one with the food that looked delicious. With Gladio, and those. I don't know. Whatever that is. 10, 15.
15.
I very much enjoyed that. It's definitely a different, that like take turns play style is different for me.
Hmm.
The boys trip, that was really fun. I did enjoy that game. In fact, I think I finished it, but I still had some other stuff to finish.
Still got some questing to
Maybe
do.
at one point I'll start it over, but I did enjoy that. Jack says Open Roller Coaster is a redo of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 that works on modern
Hmm.
computers. Elizabeth asks, what gaming system did you play it on? PS5 for, I don't know who she's asking that to, but she's asking it. I don't have a PS5. We don't have a PlayStation. We have Xboxes.
Hmm.
But I would, if I were to get a PlayStation, I would only get a PlayStation for God of War.
Ah, that's right.
God of War was one of my
Hmm.
favorite games on the PS2, because I think that's when the first God of War came out.
What
Was
what would you say World of Warcraft you put the most hours into?
I definitely put the most hours
Okay.
into WoW for
So
sure. I
I
put the
think
most hours into
the
it.
game I put the most hours into is either Diablo 2,
Oh, okay.
especially when it came out with the remasters, played it all again, got the good feels, loved that soundtrack.
Hmm.
Um, of course, Roller Coaster Tycoon is a possibility as well. But then there's a game called Out of the Park Baseball, in which you manage baseball finances and accounts.
Only you. Only
You
you.
don't actually play the game. You can manage it. I don't manage it though. I just simulate the spreadsheets, and I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours I've poured into that. That's
Oh,
a drink.
well, we don't drink in Hangover, but
Oh, right.
there it is. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Stop. I'm gonna muting.
That's what Frodo was supposed to do.
He's barking. There's nothing. There's.
I didn't even give Frodo any CBD treats, and he's out. Oh, this is scary though,
That's
because it means
nice.
this afternoon and evening
Oh
he's
yeah,
gonna be ready
Mike
to
has
go.
had over 600 hours on Elden Ring.
It's glorious.
I'm close on Elden Ring, but I think I probably just the years I played WoW.
Yeah, they accumulate, and
Um,
you had more time in your hands than that,
yes,
probably.
I mean I even like had my friend help me like build my computer, and I mean I
Nice.
built most of it myself, but he helped me with kind of the starting
So fun
stuff.
fact, I bought my computer, not this one, but my one in 2011, with the profits I made off of selling Bitcoin.
How much did you make?
I made like $500.
Okay, that's not bad.
Had I kept them,
You would
I
have
could have bought
lost
a
money.
house.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, yeah. I would have, I think if I split it between my friends, because we were mining it together at the time, because we were mining Bitcoin at the point, we
Oh,
were
okay.
able to
So
do
when
that.
it was like,
Had we split it, I think if we sold the highest, which is like right now still, we each would have gotten over like $300,000.
damn.
So that's fine.
Wow,
That's
I don't
fine.
know any of that. Okay, so Elizabeth asked Katie why she's worried about playing Elden Ring. Elden Ring is terrifying. And not in like, okay, I remember Doom scaring the shit out of me when I was in middle
Hmm.
school and I had to stop playing
But
it.
like,
But Elden Ring is like,
it's scary. It's fucking
it
scary,
is
man.
scary. It's so much fun. I really enjoyed it. Elden Ring is really at my, and I never played any Dark Souls games prior to Elden Ring.
Mm-mm.
Elden Ring is my
No, and I
first
wasn't even like really
experience.
looking to play it at all. And I think then Mike said, "Hey, I'm gonna get the Elden Ring."
Yeah,
Like,
Mike
yeah,
got it.
I could use for a multiplayer game with you guys, sure. And
Yeah.
then it just changed our lives.
Yes. Oh my god, I love it. In fact, I still have to finish the DLC.
Same.
The final boss is too scary. It hurts me
I mean,
too
at
bad.
some point, if we get bored, we can each start with like a 0 level character again and try to play the world.
For like the fifth time.
Um, I've only done it twice.
Oh well, I've done it. I guess I've done it twice
Hi,
because I
Frodo.
haven't played my alt. Do you want to
Hi,
come up?
Frodo. Oh,
Do you
good
want to come up?
boy.
Come on.
Oh,
No.
that little meth raccoon.
Oh, little Frodo. Elizabeth wants to see him again, but we can't. You gotta. You don't want to bother him. Okay, I see you. I see. Are you gonna share the couch with me? You want to come up? No. Okay, go away then. I can't deal with you.
I can't move my camera too much.
Oh, he's just that. Look at that little fur pile.
See there?
Shh. Don't
Eh.
disturb him.
Yeah, you can't really tell. You can tell the aftermath of the toy he had.
Yeah,
Well,
I've seen many toys look like that in our house. You know, I ended up being on the same side of the couch I normally on. Thank you, Leia. All right, there's won't come. Jonesers. No. Anyway.
All right. Let's do the thing really quick while we class all the planets.
Okay. Yeah. So Mercury, we decided is a. Oh, Jackie's coming up. Hi, Jackie.
Jackie
Good
Claus is
boy.
coming on up.
You good boy, Jackie. Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
so
Okay,
if
get
I
out
had
of
named
here.
my
Go.
dog Jack, it wouldn't be Captain Jack. It would be Jack the Ripper. Also,
That
another
makes
name I
sense.
came up with today was Jeffrey Dogmer.
Leia. Well, I'm telling Leia to get out of here. Go. Go.
All right, so what we're going to do
She's
this
jealous.
round in the Hangover is we're going to class the
What?
planets for D&D characters or whatever kind of characters we're feeling like. It doesn't have to be D&D, but we
Oh,
can.
I was just thinking normal RPG class
All
systems.
right, normal RPG
whatever.
classes.
So you
All
got
right,
your
all right.
you got your rogues, your mages. I mean,
All right.
we could throw in more like your
wizards,
tanks,
your artificers, if you want.
your ranger,
bards,
your range,
rangers, sure, assassins maybe, necromancers.
yeah,
those
so,
are fun.
you know.
Warlocks are good. Yeah, so Mercury we said was a rogue. Is that what we're sticking with? Is that right?
Yeah. I think Mercury.
Okay. Little
Sailor
speedy
Moon.
little guy who's difficult to see.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he kind of just is
Okay.
can sneak up on you in the night
Sneak?
sky. Sneak.
Okay, so I'm good with Mercury as a rogue.
Okay.
Venus.
Hey,
I feel
tilt
Venus
your
is like
camera down because your mouth is cut off. There you go.
I feel like Venus. Venus feels like a paladin to me. Bright.
Oh yeah, bright and shining, blinding
Shiny,
light.
set
Yes.
in their ways.
Yes.
They ain't gonna change. for
Yes, I
nobody.
can see that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, I made a character. I made a paladin. Wow. I didn't. It wasn't my main. It was definitely an alt. I didn't put much into. It was a blood elf paladin. If that helps anybody. But yes. Okay. So Venus can be a paladin.
I think Earth's a bard at this point.
Earth's an NPC.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. So Mars. Well, got a war. So it's a warrior.
Yeah, it's
It's
gotta
a
be
tank.
a warrior type. You think Mars is a tank? I don't know about that.
I mean, if anybody's gonna be a tank, obviously it would be Jupiter because Jupiter's the biggest
yeah.
brute that's gonna have the most life and the most defense. So
It's Mars. Mars, of course, can be an assassin.
yeah,
Or just a
Mars
fighter.
could be
Just a fighter, I guess.
Mars could be like a hunter, because it's ranged abilities.
Fire mage.
Fight,
I think that's for Venus, maybe.
but Mars is cold, so it would have to be a frost mage.
Oh. I don't see it as a frost mage though, just because the color is
no.
red, right?
Yeah. Hey.
Let's circle back
Okay,
to
let's
Mars.
circle back.
So we're pretty good with Jupiter as a tank.
Yes. Jupiter
All right.
has to be the tank.
Uh-huh.
It's the biggest. It's the tank. Oh,
Saturn feels like wizardy.
Yes, Saturn. It's mystical and magical and just
Yeah.
like wondrous. I think Saturn would be like a healer.
Oh, a healer for Saturn, huh?
I mean, it's god of agriculture, so it's using like herbs and things to make potions for healing and stuff. Yes, it's supposed to be the god of agriculture.
What do you think Mars as a necromancer? Maybe it had life. Maybe we're still trying to find
Ooh.
life.
I like
Maybe there
that.
will be
No,
life on there in the
Mars is a
future.
necromancer. I
Okay.
like that. I
All
like
right.
that. It's the Mars is the necroskizzy of WoW. That was
Ah,
my
nice. Nice.
Oh, Elizabeth says Mars, Red Guardian, Marvel character.
Hmm,
But I think Necromancer. Yeah, I like Necromancer for
okay.
Mars. Okay, so Saturn's a healer.
Sounds Neptune.
Neptune. Well, Uranus.
Sorry, I just skipped right to my favorite planet. Sorry,
um,
Uranus. Forgot about you.
why,
Um,
trying to think.
okay, so Uranus should really be the bird because of the moons.
Yes.
Name those
Oh
Shakespearean
God.
characters.
Yes.
That makes the
Okay.
most sense.
Yes. Okay. Uranus
Okay.
is the bard. All right.
All right.
Neptune. Neptune could be like an ice mage.
Neptune would be a good ice mage for sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Frodo. Hi, puppy dog. Don't look at me
Or
like
you know
that.
what? Saturn as a healer could also be a druid. If we're going with like a WoW.
Druid
Also
would be
a
good.
WoW is druid.
I was trying to figure out which planet could be a druid, and I couldn't quite,
Druid.
yeah, put my finger on it.
Or Earth is druid.
Earth would be a very good druid
Earth
due
is a
to the
druid.
animals. Yeah,
Earth
okay.
is a druid. Earth is a
Due,
druid.
due
Saturn's a
to
healer.
life,
Due
yes.
to life on Earth, Earth is a druid. All right, Neptune. Neptune, water mage. Frost mage? No, wait. Yes. Frost mage.
Ice source. And Diablo 2 speak, that's ice source,
Or
for sure.
ice sorceress. Sorcerer. Since they're all male.
And then Pluto is a dwarf. Just to get that right out of the way.
Pluto's a dwarf. Pluto's a dwarf. Yes, Pluto's a dwarf. I was gonna say, although Pluto would be a good necromancer.
Oh, Pluto would be a great necromancer.
Right?
Wait, is there anything stopping a dwarf from being a necromancer?
Well, it depends on the game.
I like the idea of a dwarf like resurrecting like
Yes.
giraffes.
Okay. He's a dwarf necromancer. Pluto's a dwarf
Oh,
necromancer.
and
So
this
now we
dwarf
gotta.
is like riding a undead giraffe into battle. That sounds fucking cool.
Okay. So now I gotta rethink Mars then.
Oh, right.
Oh, fire
Oh,
mage. Well, no, because it's
yeah.
cold. Even though it's red, it's so cold.
It's cold and
Although,
angry.
I mean,
Warlock? No.
no, because that.
Yeah. I could just do fighter, but that seems lazy.
I mean, a warrior. I mean, a warrior. But then we already have the tank as Jupiter. But you could be a warrior and not be. You could be a DPS
let's think of this from a
warrior.
team perspective, right? How can this group, what's needed in this group? Do we need just your typical fighter in there? Because so far
Oh,
we
well,
have a
yeah,
lot of range.
actually. So
We have
you
a
have.
lot of range.
Yeah, so the tank is Jupiter, so it's taking the most of the
Yeah.
damage and the focus of the enemy. So yeah, you could have Mars as a warrior class, but a DPS warrior, so it's a damage per second warrior, so it's not a tank,
Right.
so it doesn't, but it's still a warrior class.
I'm
So
good with
yeah, I think that works.
Well done, team.
We did it. we video game classed the planets.
Which
have-
surely has been done before, but I don't know about it. So this was the first time in history.
I-
What you got?
Has it been done before? No, it hasn't.
It has to have been, right? Some people in the 70s got high in the basement playing D&D and thought, what kind of class do you think Mars is? And they go through the whole thing.
Oh, but there's so many more classes now with like modern video games. Well, I guess
Right.
there's like the basic archetypes, but you have so many different variations. So I don't know if anybody has done this before. Google it, chat. Yeah, I claim it. We claim
How
it.
would you, the first thing that comes up? Um, how do you build a character based around the planets? But that's still not quite thinking. Okay. So Mercury is small, fast, and hot. I'd go Ascendant Dragon Monk. Venus, multi-class Dragon Monk and Draconic Soul Sorcerer.
From
Earth is druid.
Earth is Druid. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Uh,
Earth is Druid.
Mars is fighter. Jupiter is storm. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, so yes, it has been done before, but still fun.
Okay, Stormcaller class of
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's Druid. I think there's Stormcaller Druids, but there's also
Uranus is
Stormcaller.
just kind of there.
So it's the Bard. It's definitely the Bard.
They actually called it an Echo Night Fighter.
I don't know what that is.
Okay,
asteroids and comets are all NPCs.
I'm good with that.
And the sun is the boss, the main boss fight.
Oh, so there's this person on TikTok. Thanks, Wildixia there, and she'll go over like embody certain things. Like she's being fonts today, and she's talking like New Times Roman, talks to Sans, talks to Comic Sans, talks to Frontera. But I could see her doing that same act with just the planets. That'd be fun. Like, okay,
What's a Comic Sans versus Times New Roman?
No, it's just like the way that she talks and interacts with the other people.
Okay, Comic Sans would obviously be like, comedic and punny and like light.
I'm gonna find this now.
A Times New Roman would be very like
astute.
Yes, to the point.
Scholarly.
What would Helvetica be? What about Wingdings?
Wingdings just comes in like a Picasso painting. Or actually, no. Wingdings would be, that 1970s Italian song that tried to make it sound like English, but it came out gibberish.
No.
You don't know this?
Well,
it's so good.
Not just by that description.
I'm gonna send it to you. I have lots of things to send to you.
Okay. Jack says Uranus being a sexually charged bard is hilarious.
Solid. Or gaseous.
I like that you added sexually charged. I didn't think about that, but I mean Uranus, it fits in Uranus.
Okay. Nice. All right. So back to reality with gravity. I have a apartment inspection for the first time in 3 years tomorrow, and I have a dog they don't know about. So I need a deep clean before they get here tomorrow morning. So I should probably get off of the podcast soon.
Yeah, we've had a fun time. We've talked.
We've certainly had some times. We had some laughs. We had some tears in there.
Sometimes, did you not think it was fun?
I said we have laughs and tears.
Okay. Jack says the bard is into butt stuff.
Oh, that's a giggle. That's a giggle right there. That's a proper giggle.
Okay, yes, and I have to get back to the Dragon Age Vanguard
Indeed you do.
I'm a Kunari with that has a face tattoo and super cool.
I just want to play video games and eat pizza bites now.
I'm having leftover tofu tacos because that was
sounds good too.
It was in my Dinnerly box because I kept the Dinnerly box even though Mike's gone, but I figured I can like then space out the meals and like repeat them because I'm only feeding myself.
Oh, yeah. When's Mike get back?
Saturday. So
but it's Sunday.
Yeah. So
how long does this training take? Jesus.
And well, he wanted to go. He goes early so he can acclimate to the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it starts on Monday, so it starts whenever he wakes up for his Monday.
Okay.
And then the week,
which his Monday is now.
Yeah. So I have 1 week. He's still up. Go to bed, honey. You gotta go to bed. You got training in the morning.
Go to bed. Yeah, in the morning, Mike. Go to bed.
Katie says, in terms of Frodo, keep it secret, keep it safe.
I'm doing my best, but he's not doing either of those things.
Well, we can't all be perfect boys. Like, oh damn it, I thought I could reach it in one like this. Like this man.
Oh, look at this. God. Look at that fucking face.
Big yawn. Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh.
He's the best boy. He's the best boy of all the boys. Anyway, okay. Put this back. All right. Okay. All right. Well, that was a fun hangover. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I had fun in the main episode. So if you want to check out the main episode of High in the Sky for December 2024, you can. Oh God, look at this. My hair is just.
Oh, I haven't.
Receding. Okay.
I can't focus on myself. All my energy is focused into that little meth raccoon. So yeah, and the hair is a mess.
I get. Oh, your hair looks wonderful. Anyway, so check out that episode on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast, and you can check out The Hangover here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We had fun. We had drinks. We got nerdy. We did all the things. Got spacey. So we'll see you next time for our episode on Dark Energy.
Dark Energy.
Led by none other than the Brandon Riddle.
That's me.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. We'll see you. Happy 2024. Oh, dogs are barking. Okay, bye. I'm ending it now. You watch me end it. Watch me end.
We're watching
Ready?
you. We're watching
Ready?
you. We're in.
End
We're in.
it.
We're in. We're in.
End it.
That's what Uranus says.
Goodbye.
We're in. We're in.